ngalan ng Ama, ng Anak, at ng Espiritu Santo. Amen. Amang mahabagin, tanging bukal ng buhay at pag-asa. Kami ay naninikluhod at nagsusumamo sa iyo upang hilingin ang iyong paglingap laban sa karamdamang nagpapahirap sa marami at kumitil na ng maraming. Dinggin mo po kami ng may pagmamahal. Ipag-adyam po sa amin ang iyong mapaghilom na mga kamay upang kami ay maibsan mula sa pangamba ng kamatayan at karamdaman. Bigyang lakas kami ng pag-asa at pananalig sa iyo. Naway iyong alalayan ang mga nasa medisina at tumutuklas ng lunas sa karamdamang ito. Bigyan niyo sila ng katatagan at kadalisayan ng kaisipan upang maging wasto ang kanilang paglikha ng mga lunas. Sa mga lumilingap at mga nag-aalaga sa mga dinapuan ng karamdaman, naway manatili silang malusog at masigla ang pangangatawan upang sila'y maglingkod ng ibayo at ng may pagmamahal. Panginoon, nawa ang mga nasa banig ng karamdaman, nawa sila'y manatiling nananalig at umaasa ng lunas mula sa iyo. At sa mga pumanaw, naway kanilang kamtin ang buhay na walang hanggan. Pagkalooban mo po kami ng biyaya at pagkakawang gawa at pagtutulong-tulong upang ang nararanasan naming ito ay magbigay sa amin sa pagbukal ng kagandahang loob para maglingkod at ang may pagpapakabay. Hinihiling namin ito sa pamamagitan ni Jesucristo na nabubuhay at naghahari, kasama mo at ng Espiritu Santo magpa sa walang hanggan. Amen. Sa ngalan ng Ama at ng Anak at ng Espiritu Santo.
Jose Rizal, sino ka ba? Mayroon bang Pinoy na kasing galing mo? Sino ka ba? Jose Rizal, sino ka ba? Mayroon bang Pinoy na katulad mo?
Radyo is always at your service. Kaya naman, ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa amin to improve our programs on air and online. Para alam ni teacher yung strengths as well as the things in your mind na mas makatutulong sa mas effective na pagkatuto sa teleradyo. Please take time to send your feedbacks via Teleradyo Mu, which you can access by scanning the QR code on the right or typing the URL provided here, bit.ly/3ORVAY9. One more, this time you follow bit.ly/3ORVAY9. Kaya send your hashtag TBH o hashtag RT dito sa Teleradyo Mu, kung saan ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa teleradyo.
Makinig, manood na sa teleradyo. Makinig, manood na sa teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa
Good day, everyone! Have you ever asked yourself where you can apply the concepts of similar triangles and right triangles in real life? The concept of similar triangles are very useful in many things. In architecture, similar triangles are used to represent the doors and how far they swing open. And when you use the shadows that make the triangles to find the height of an object, you can also use that to measure the height of the actual object. It is also used to stabilize a bridge. And in aerial photography, similar triangles are used to find the distance from the sky to the ground. And in construction, similar triangles are used to measure out the room and the scale size. And many more. How about right triangles?
Well, right triangle are also useful in real life. The concept of a right triangle, especially the Pythagorean theorem, are very useful in architecture, construction, navigation, surveying, and many more. And today, you will learn how to solve a problem involving similar triangle and right triangles. So, let's begin.
Now, let's begin solving problems involving similar triangles
And right triangles.
For problem number 1, about similar triangles, here's Daniel. Daniel is 6 feet tall. When he stands 12 feet away from the flagpole, the tip of his 10-foot-long shadow is in the same spot as the tip of the flagpole's shadow. How tall is the flagpole? For the illustration, here it is. We are going to solve the height of the flagpole. Now we form two similar triangles. This is the larger triangle and this is the smaller triangle. Alright, separating the two triangles. For the solution, we will use the concept of ratio and proportion. And here it is. We have x over 6 feet is equal to 22 feet over 10 feet. Using the cross multiplication, we have 10 times x is equal to 6 times 22. 10 times x is 10x and 6 times 22 is 132. So, dividing both sides by 10 or multiplying both sides by 1 over 10, we have x equals 13.2 feet. Therefore, the height of the flagpole is 13.2 feet. Now, for problem number 2 about similar triangles, here's the situation. Two ladders are leaning against the wall at the same time angle as shown in the illustration. How long is the shorter ladder? And we are asked to find the length of this shorter ladder. We take note that these two angles are similar, that is formed against the ground. And the height from the tip of the longer ladder to the base is 45 feet. And the height from the tip of the shorter ladder from the ground is 18 feet. What is being asked here is the length of the ladder here, and is represented by the variable x. And as you can see here, we form two similar triangles. We have this 60 feet corresponds to x, which represent our length for the shorter ladder, and 45 corresponds to 18. Now, applying the concept of ratio and proportion again, we have 60 feet over x is equal to 45 feet over 18 feet. The unit of feet are being cancelled, so applying the cross multiplication, we have 45 times x is equal to 60 times 18. So 45x is equal to 1080. Therefore, x now is 24 feet, which is the length of the shorter ladder, that is 24 feet long. Did you get that one?
Let's move on problem number 3. Solving problem involving right triangle. A ladder 15 meters long leans against the wall. The foot of the ladder is 9 meters from the base of the wall. To what height from the ground does the upper end of the ladder extend? As you can see in our illustration, the ladder is 15 meters long and the wall is 9 meters. So by using the Pythagorean theorem, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the two legs. Therefore, we substitute 15 meter, which is our hypotenuse, is equal to a squared plus 1 of its base, 9 squared. A squared is equal to 15 squared minus 9 squared because one of the legs is missing. So a squared is equal to 225 minus 81. Therefore, a squared is equal to 144. Then to measure what is being asked in the question, we need to square root both sides. The square root of a squared is equal to the square root of 144. And the answer is 12 meter will be the height from the ground, thus the upper end of the ladder extend. So let's move on to problem number 4. What is the measure of the longest segment that can be drawn on the sheet of paper 16 cm wide and 30 cm long? For our illustration, we have 30 cm long, 16 cm wide, and the unknown is the hypotenuse. So let's see be the length of the longest segment. Again, we use Pythagorean theorem. C squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. So therefore, c squared is equal to 16 squared plus 30 squared. C squared is equal to 156 plus 900. C squared is equal to 1156. Getting the square root of both sides, c squared is equal to square root of 1156. Our hypotenuse will be 34 cm in the longest segment. Problem number 5. A 17-meter piece of string is stretched from the top of a 15-meter flagpole to the ground. How far is the base of the flagpole from the end of the piece of the string? So let's have an illustration.
15 meter, which is the height of the flagpole, and 17 meter, which is the string stretch. And the unknown will be how far is the base from the flagpole from the end of the piece of the string. So let B be the distance of the base of the flagpole from the end of a piece of a string. By using again the Pythagorean theorem, c squared is equal a squared plus b squared, 17 squared is equal to 15 squared plus b squared. B squared is equal to 17 squared minus 15 squared. B squared is equal to 289 minus 225. By getting the square root of the both sides, the answer will be 8 meter is the distance of the base from the flagpole from the end of the piece of the string.
Now, let us proceed to the application of solving problems involving similar triangles. Gab is 5 feet tall. He wants to know the height of the tree in front of him. He places a mirror on the ground and moves until he can see the top of the nearby tree. At this point, he is 2 feet from the mirror. The tree is 48 feet from the mirror. Find the height of the tree. For the illustration, here is Gab that is 5 feet tall. And he places a mirror here that is 2 feet from him. From the mirror up to the base of the tree, the distance is 48 feet. And we are asked to find the height of the tree. Now, again, we have here two similar triangles which are formed. The smaller triangle and the bigger triangle. Now, separating the two triangles, we have here 5 feet of the smaller triangle corresponds to the height of the tree, and 2 feet, which is one of the sides of the small triangle, corresponds to the 48 feet of the larger triangle. And take note that this angle is congruent to this angle. Therefore, for our solution, we will use again the concept of ratio and proportion. So we have 2 feet over 48 feet is equal to 5 feet over h, which represent the height of the tree. Now, using the cross multiplication, we have 2 times h, that is 2h, is equal to 48 times 5. 2h is equal to 240. Dividing both sides by 2 or multiplying both sides of the equation by 1/2, we got h is equal to 120 feet. Therefore, the height of the tree is 120 feet. Now, for another application, number 2 is still on similar triangles. We have here campsite R and S are on the opposite sides of the lake. A survey crew made the measurements shown on the diagram here. What is the distance between the two campsites? Now, for the illustration, what is being asked here, that is represented by the variable x, is the distance between Camp R and Camp S. And with the given measures here, you see that this 402 meters corresponds to the distance between two campsites, which is represented by x. So these two are the corresponding sides of these two similar triangles which are formed. This side, that is 452 meters, correspond to this side, that is 361 meters. Again, applying the concept of ratio and proportion, we have 402 over 452 is equal to x over 361. Applying the cross multiplication, we have 252 times x is equal to 402 times 361. 452x is equal to 145,122. Dividing both sides of the equation by 452, therefore x is 321.07 meters. Therefore, the distance between two campsites R and S is 321.07 meters.
For application number 3, involving right triangle, A shed with a pent roof needs to have some new roof beams fitted. The width of the shed is 5 meters, and the height of the pent roof is 1.3 meters. Work out from the length of the roof beams needed. So, for our solution, let's see be the length of the roof beams, since it is the longest side. So, by using again the Pythagorean theorem, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, c squared is equal to 1.3 squared plus 5 squared. C squared is equal to 1.69 plus 25. C squared is equal to 26.69. Get the square root of both sides. We have C is equal to the square root of 26.69. So C is equal to 5.17 meters. So the length of the roof beams is 5.7 meters. Another one in application number 4. The height of the tree is 5 meters, and the distance between the top of it at the tip of its shadow is 13 meters. Find the length of the shadow. So, based on our illustration, the length of the tip of the shadow is 13 meters, and the height of the tree is 5 meters. We are going to find the length of its shadow. So, for our solution, let B be the length of the shadow. Then, by using Pythagorean theorem, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. 13 squared, which is the longest side, is equal to 5 squared plus b squared. So, b squared is equal to 169 minus 25. B squared is equal to 144. By getting the square root of both sides, we have B is equal to 12 meters is the length of the shadow.
It's your turn. For the assessment, you are going to solve the following problems involving similar triangles and right triangles. Here's problem number 1. Jane, who is 5 feet tall, wants to know how high is the Eiffel Tower. She places a mirror on the ground and moves until she can see the top of the tower. At this point, she is 8 feet from the mirror. The tower is 24 feet from the mirror. How high is the tower? You are given 4 minutes to answer this problem. Your 4 minutes starts now. time's up. Here is the answer. The height of the Eiffel Tower is 15 feet. For problem number 2, a 2-meter lady makes a 12-meter long shadow, and the palm tree makes 84-meter long shadow. How tall is the palm tree? Again, you are given 4 minutes to answer this problem. Your 4 minutes starts now. And here is the answer. The height is 14 meters. And for problem number 3, an anchor line for a tower needs to be replaced. The tower is 96 feet tall. The anchor line is 105 feet long. How far from the tower can it be placed to the nearest foot? Again, you are given 4 minutes to answer this problem. Your 4 minutes starts now. And here is the answer. The answer is 3 times the square root of 201. Thank you so much!
That would be all in solving word problems involving similar triangles and right triangles. We hope you learned a lot. God bless us all and keep safe, everyone.
Jose Rizal.
Dr. Jose Rizal.
Kahit musmos, alam mong iyong pangalan.
Ay parang si Superman.
Kahit saan.
Sino ka ba? Sino ka ba?
Sino ka ba? Jose Rizal, sino ka ba? Mayroon nga bang taong sintulong mo? Sino ka ba? Jose Rizal, sino ka ba? Mayroon nga bang taong katulad mo?
Doktor, pintor, siruhano,
Bata
arkitekto,
pa'y nanalo
iskultor.
na ng tula at drama. Nangolekta ng kay raming medalya.
Manunulat,
Bilang mensahe.
Teleradyo is always at your service, kaya naman, ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa amin to improve our programs on air and online. Para alam ni teacher yung strengths as well as the things in your mind na mas makatutulong sa mas effective na pagkatuto sa Teleradyo. Please take time to send your feedbacks via Teleradyo Mu, which you can access by scanning the QR code on the right or typing the URL provided here, bit.ly/3ORVAY9. One more, this time you follow. bit.ly/3ORVAY9. Kaya send your hashtag TBH o hashtag RT dito sa Teleradyo Mu, kung saan ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa Teleradyo.
Makinig, manood, nasa Teleradyo. Makinig, manood, nasa Teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa kaakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.